often the problem with corporate management, and we can see that this is called principal agent problem. Okay, and there are one or two things that you should know, because this is a very big area and a lot of research in this area. So we are at page number 188 and 189. Okay, so now the principal agent problem, we talk about two types of principal agent problem. One is what are called as a type 1 problem, which is the old theoretical model where we analyze the conflict between owners and managers. Owners versus managers, principal agent problem. We are acting between owners versus managers. And we have type 2 principal agent conflict, which is majority shareholders versus minority shareholders. Okay, so in India this is one of the big problems. Many of the family owned businesses, they are running the business or corporates in such a way that the minority shareholders' interests are not taken care of. Okay, so we have this kind of a problem, especially in India. Okay, so that is one thing that you should know. Please note one more thing. This problem is mainly due to, this is a work of Andrew Schleifer and Robert Vishney. Okay, and Robert Vishney, there they found that the principal agent problem is mainly because it is difficult to have complete contracts. Okay, just remember this word, complete contracts. This is going to be very critical for you in your future study of management. It's difficult to have complete contracts, meaning you cannot specify all the possible things that can happen and write a contract. So because there are incomplete contracts and there is lack of information, we will always have this problem of principal agent conflict. That is the work of Robert Vishney, and similar research was done by Oliver Hart. Okay, you should know these names because I have seen some multiple choice questions which just ask you the name of the theoretician who gave the theory. Okay, so according to Hart also, it is the difficulty to write contracts, difficulty to write and verify contracts. Okay, which is at the heart of, principal agent problem. So we have Andrew Schleifer and Robert Vishney and Oliver Hart. Okay, how do you measure the cost? Okay, or what is the cost of agency? Just write this formula. The cost of agency, that is the principal agent problem, was proposed by Jensen and Meckling. It was proposed by Jensen and Meckling, and according to Jensen and Meckling, we can measure the cost of principal agent problem. Cost of principal agent problem as a sum of following costs. As a sum of following costs. as the cost of monitoring. Okay, cost of monitoring expenditure by the principal. Okay, remember the principal is the one who has to do the monitoring. Cost of monitoring by the principal. Second is bonding expenditure by the agent. Bonding expenditure by the agent. Okay, this is the expenditure that agent would have to incur to prove his loyalty. Okay, the bonding expenditure by the agent. And third is the residual loss. Okay, what profit is lost because you have agent rather than principal managing, so the residual cost or the residual loss. Okay, so this is the three-pronged cost of principal agent problem. Okay, cost of monitoring, the expenditure incurred on monitoring by the principal, bonding expenditure by the agent, and third is what is the loss caused because of the agent, that is called a residual loss. Okay, of course there are controversy regarding this, and Hart has argued that it's not easy to calculate this cost and all that, but for our purposes this is enough, you know, like. Okay, so yeah, just let's look at some of the problems if there are any on this first 5.1 and 5.2. Okay, so let's go to page number before we do planning and organizing. Okay, let me see if there is any. Okay, so you look at problem number 12. Okay, problem number 12. Agency theory suggests that managers, the agents, particularly those of large publicly owned firms, may have different objectives from the options given are workers, subordinates, shareholders, employees. What would be our choice? It would be principal. In this case is always the shareholders, right? So we would say it is the shareholders. So the answer would be 12C. Okay, problem number 13. The view that sees profit maximization as the main objective, profit maximization as the main objective is known as, okay, so shareholder theory. Okay, which one of the following represents the best effort to reduce the agency problem? Paying senior managers a cash bonus each year based on number of people employed by the company, giving senior managers bonuses consisting of shares of the company share whenever the company improves the production efficiency, increase the salary of the company president every time the company opens a new store, providing company cars to all managers employed by the firm for more than 1 year. Okay, so agency problem is where it is showing to reduce the energy agency problem. You want managers to act like owners. So here the option would be 15B, giving senior manager bonuses consisting of shares of the company where whenever the company improves its production efficiency. Agency theory was developed by Alshane, Demsetz, Jensen and Meckeling, Jensen and Pharma, all of them. Who had said leaders' stewardship choice can motivate and facilitate reciprocal stewardship behavior from the employee. This view was given by Davis, Schurman and Donaldson. According to Davis, Schurman and Donaldson, 1997, the managers being steward of the company will try to yes, hello, tell me. Yeah, who's this?
एक्चुअली मुझे प्रथम बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं 2024 पास आउट हूँ MUCC से.
Okay.
विजय सर ने आपका नंबर दिया.
Okay.
Actually, I already have experience in health insurance company and they told me to talk with you regarding the XR health insurance company.
Okay. Just text me the details and I'll call you back in an hour's time. I'm in a lecture right now.
Sure.
Okay.
It will be
Yeah.
great.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Yeah. According to Davis Schurman, manager being a steward of the company will try to maximize the shareholders' wealth. So which of the following regarding residual loss is correct? Bonding costs do not have an effect on residual loss. Residual loss is incurred by the agent because an agency relationship exists. A reduction in residual loss is likely to be the result of increase in monitoring cost. Under agency theory, residual loss can be reduced to zero by good governance. The answer is C. A reduction in the residual loss is likely to be the result of an increase in monitoring costs. So which of the following regarding agency theory is correct? Agency theory only applies to large companies. Agents are assumed to be in position of power. Agents act in the best interest of the principal. Agency theory defines the relationship between agents and directors. So it's 20B, that is agents are assumed to be in a position of power. Let's look at 21. Which of the following is not an agency cost? Residual loss is, bonding cost is, monitoring cost is. So the only thing which is not a cost is concurrent cost. So 21, it is C. Dash is defined as the process of obtaining and maintaining the capable and competent people to fill all positions from top to operative level. Okay, so that is mainly the staffing is defined as the process of, according to Kuntz and O'Donnell, staffing is the according to Kuntz and O'Donnell, staffing is the executive function. Dash is concerned with providing the organization with the right number of people at the right place and at the right time so that the organization would be able to achieve its goal effectively. Okay, it is staffing. Okay, selection is a process of rejection and hence it is called, hence is a process of, it's called negative process. Okay, so T group training is also known as sensitivity training. 26D. Yeah, sensitivity training.